Okay, this is my waste oil heater. Basically, I have a detached garage. It's got 4 concrete walls and a concrete floor and a tin roof with no heat source. This winter, I'm gonna plan on coming out here more often and working. And instead of buying an electric heater or a gas-fired heater or propane, anything like that, I looked around on YouTube, found some really kind of sufficient ways to heat something for almost next to no money spent. So I'm going to walk you through how I built this thing and show you how I've got it set up and show you a couple of problems that I ran into. So if you want to or have the means to do it and have a safe place to put it, you've got an option to heat something. So to start with, the tank that I'm using is an old hot water heater I bought off of a scrapper for like 10 bucks. Once I got it from her, I stripped off the insulation shell to reveal the tank that's inside. I knocked off the top and the bottom part of the tank to get rid of all those nozzles and valves and things, and welded a plate on the top and bottom so it would just be a round hollow tank. On the top, I took a 5-inch pipe and welded it off center, and that allows me to slip a 6-inch duct right over the top. And one of the things that it does is there's a big gap right here, but I don't think that's hurting anything because with convection, that hot air going through that pipe is going to allow fresh air to flush through there, and it's not going to hurt anything. I haven't had any smoke come out unless I close the damper. If I close the damper too much, I obviously get smoke because it can't escape. But with the damper wide open, it heats up just fine. On the bottom, I took a 4-inch pipe and drill a whole bunch of holes in it. And that's to allow the air to draft in and give me good combustion. Right now, I don't really have the greatest. I need to drill a whole lot more holes, or maybe move up to a 6-inch pipe on the bottom, because it's not really burning efficiently like I'd like. On the lower end of that thing, there's a bowl. It's a 6-inch, just a steel bowl, and it's flanged with a couple of bolts so I can take it off and clean it. And once I start a fire in there, like I take lighter fluid, pour some lighter fluid in there, then take a match and light it. As soon as you get fire, you can start flowing oil, and it immediately ignites and just gets hot, real hot. So that's what is going on in there. That plate at the bottom is so hot that the oil just ignites when it touches it. I have a 3/8-inch tubing, and that goes over to my supply drum, and it's got a 3/8-inch little valve, tubing valve, hooked to the supply tank. And I got this for free because where I work we get a lot of plastic drums, and I asked and they gave it to me. I even got a lid that seals, and with a whole bunch of scrap material laying around, I built this little deck to sit it on. And I'm going to actually lift that up higher so I get more space between where it drains out and where it goes over here. Right now there's only 5-inch difference, so I'm going to elevate that tank a lot more. And then let's see, some of the problems I ran into, I started out with 1/4-inch tubing like that, and I couldn't get enough oil to flow through a 1/4-inch. This is dirty oil. Oil changes. Where I work, we have a lot of compressors and other heavy machinery, so there's just buckets of oil laying around. None of it's clean. It's all a lot of diesel engines and stuff. So I needed a 3/8 tube, and that actually is more than enough in size to feed this thing. Let's see, the other problem I had is I got carried away, and the more oil you put to it, the hotter it gets. And I got carried away, and it overflowed out of those lower holes onto the floor. It didn't ignite because the ground was cold, and I threw that paper down there to soak up the oil, but I didn't clean it up so I could show you what happens. This is why you wouldn't want it in your house. or on a wood floor or a carpet or anything like that, because you know, as hot as this thing gets, you're just asking for trouble. Let's see, right now it's running 356 degrees, and that's the surface temperature. I've got the probe taped to the surface there so I get a true surface temperature, and it's still going up. I've got it cranked up a little bit. Let's see, down here you can actually see the drip, how the oil's coming out of the thing. And like I said, it's not as efficient as it should be because there's not enough air getting to it, and I'll fix that. Anyway, I've gotten this thing as hot as 550 degrees surface temperature, and that was blazing hot in here. So it has a potential to really heat up a source. And this building that I'm in is 20 feet by 30 feet, wide open garage. So there's, you know, a lot of area to heat. The one thing I'm going to do in order to push the warm air across the room is I'm going to get one of those duct heaters to put here. I've got an outlet on the wall, and I'm just going to put a duct heater on there, and that'll push the air right across to the other side of the garage, and I shouldn't have any problems. Anyway, that's it, and I'll probably post another video once I get it completely set up. This is all kind of temporary, nothing's fixed or sit in the final place. And once I get everything, all the bugs worked out, I'll put another video on to show you what it's doing and how hot I can get it. Until then, see ya.